Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Evercade A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of the games on Blaze's Evercade retro gaming system. Today's game is Prehistorik Man from the Interplay Collection 2 cartridge. This was originally a 1995 release by Titus, and it's third in a series that began on home computers back in 1991. It's part of a broader trend as well for caveman themed games that also included Core Design's Chuck Rock, which we've seen on the Atari A to Z series, and Data East Joe and Mac, which can be found elsewhere in the Evercade library. Now, this game was noteworthy for featuring a much stronger sense of narrative than its predecessors, which was still quite unusual to see in games at the time. And it's also a rare example of a genuinely good game from Titus, who were a developer that was well known for fairly mediocre fare at best and outright garbage at worst. So this is a noteworthy part of their own history. Anyway, with all that in mind, let's go play Prehistorik Man.
Okay, here we are with Prehistorik Man, originally released for the Super NES, seen here on the Evercade. As I say, this is a game that was developed by Titus, who were not particularly well known for making super good games, but this is actually a pleasant example of a rare good game from them. I like this game. It's fun. It's got a good sense of humour. It's pretty fun to play. It's got some nice level designs. It's got some nice graphics. It actually has a story and dialogue, which is quite unusual to see at this point in gaming history. Plus pioneering the kind of gibberish that we would later hear in Banjo-Kazooie from Rare. Don't know about pioneering, but certainly an earlier game to make use of this sort of thing.
Tells of a secret place, far, far to the north, beyond the barren ice wastes. A valley full of bones, a dinosaur graveyard, where dinosaurs go to die. I want you to lead a mission to find this valley and collect all the bones we need.
Yes, in Caveman Society in this game, bones are used as currency, so the more bones they have, the richer they are. So, this is the third in the Prehistorik series. The earlier ones were on the ST and Amiga, and the main point of them was just to get your way through levels and collect enough food to clear the levels. In this one, you're still collecting food, but the actual main priority is just making it through the levels. So here's all the characters you will meet along the way, including Big Booby Cave Babe. Simpler times. Simpler times. Right, let's begin. Stage 1 jungle steps. I remember how to play this now. Sam, before we start our quest, I think we should give you a little training. We'll help you with advice while you travel to the adjacent bridges. As you will need to know how to run like a dog, then you will be able to run faster. Push up on the pad or hold down the Y button while moving left to right. Okay, so Y is also the attack button. But you can also run by pushing diagonally up as well, which is a little bit awkward, but that is actually useful in a few places where you perhaps don't want to attack, but you do want to run. And also you notice that there's a pause between attack and actually starting to run as well, whereas if you use the directional pad, you'll actually run immediately. Hello, lad. Let's try and get you acting more like a real hunter, shall we? To jump higher, you should bounce on the head of an enemy with the jump button pressed. You can't bounce on spiders or tortoises, but you can ride on them instead. I run out of enemies here. I think if I go away and come back, they might return. No, well, I guess I lost that chance then. Right, spiders actually act as moving platforms. But they still hurt you if you run into them. See what I can do. I can go in there and come back out again, and I think that resets all the enemies. So I can then... maybe not. No bouncing on enemy heads for me, I guess. Or can I lead you down here? No. Never mind. Alright, well, let's go through here anyway, because there's some bonuses through here. A cake! That well-known prehistoric treat. Alright, Sam, how are you doing with that club I made for your journey? Listen, if any enemies attack you, they'll take one of your hearts. Don't let them get away with it. Use one of my lovely weapons on him. Now drop 4 small hearts. If you get all 4, you'll get your heart back. Yeah, this is actually quite a nice mechanic, where if you get hurt, if you then kill the thing that hurt you, you can potentially get your life back. So it's a little bit different from a conventional health system. But it does work rather nicely. And there's a heart there anyway, so that's good. So yeah, I mean, this is a relatively straightforward platformer, but it's very competently made, and it looks nice, and it's got some nice animation and some good designs and so on. And as they say, at the time this was released, there's a checkpoint. At the time this was released, there was a kind of a weird trend for caveman games. I don't know what really caused that to come about, but we had stuff like Chuck Rock, we had Joe and Mac, we had this. I'm sure there were some others as well. Whoops. Big lump of meat. And a 1-up. I'll take it. Oh, God. There we go. So yeah, you have a look button as well. If you hold down the shoulder button and push up and down, you can look up and down with a nice animation to accompany that. And again, more foods here. And the more foods you collect, the bigger your bonus at the end of the level, as you might expect. Whoops! Now, the question is that 1-up there every time? It is not. Okay. So it's not like Incantation, which was another Titus game from a little bit later. That one did have respawning 1-ups. Actually, I've done everything here already, haven't I? So don't need to do anything there at all. Onward! Running jump over the spikes. See, there's those 4 hearts that they drop. There are 4 hearts! And there's the goal. We are victorious! You then get a rundown of what you managed to collect, which in my case was very poor. So, as you might expect, there are lots of secrets in this game. So in this one, We're trying to find our way to a specific enemy in order to get an item from them. So this is another nice thing about this game, in that you're not always just running from left to right trying to get to the goal. Sometimes you're trying to find something. Oh, quick. Ah, oh, missed it. Damn it. Never mind. There'll be more hearts. I feel like I've missed some stuff back this way. Let's go back this way for now. Ow! Running into spikes and dying! Good work, Pete. Excellent work. Right, let's try that again. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we could get up there and do something. Just a big burger. Can we make a big flying leap across there? I don't know. Let's find out. Shout acts like a smart bomb. Clears everything on the screen and then gradually regenerates. Yes, there is more stuff up here. Lemons! Right. And we jump over all the spiders. We actually don't need to stand on all the spiders. We can just jump from platform to platform. Alright, carefully. Those dragonfly things are quite hard to hit, so I may as well use the shout on them since it's there to be used. Into the cave. Alright, so we've now got some throwing axes that we can make use of. These are limited, but you can restock them just by going back and collecting them again. Those axes are rather nice for dealing with flying enemies, certainly. Run! Jump! Out! Oh. Both times that last heart went down the hole. So in a situation like that there, it's quite useful to use the up to run feature, because you don't necessarily want to throw an axe before you start running. Alright, into this cave. And we come out here. Oh, God. I think that the one we want is actually over to the left. Yes. And there's not actually anything over here worth picking up. Well, it was worth checking. You see, the axes are slightly more powerful than the club as well. The club takes 3 hits to kill one of these lions, whereas the axes only take 2 of them. Yeah, this game has a very kind of Euro platformer feel about it, as you might expect from a French game, but it's very likable. Oops. Yeah, I find it a very likable game. There are some Euro platformers that can feel quite obnoxious, both in terms of sort of the personality of their characters and the level design and stuff, but the levels in this are pretty interestingly designed, with lots of things to discover and all that sort of thing, and the characters are all quite likable as well. I mean, Sam himself is a bit of a obnoxious, gross, smelly caveman, but you know, he's a caveman, so you know, we can cut him a little bit of slack. Yeah, those bridges are springy. Alright, this is the one we need to get the pelt from. There we go. And that's the end of that level. So no getting to a goal in that one, you just have to get the item you need. Doing absolutely pathetic on the pickups this time. Last time I played this, I had no trouble finding loads of this stuff. Okay, so on this stage we have a hang glider, and that forms our main method of getting around on this stage. So you can't lose the hang glider, but you do very much have to get to grips with how it handles. It handles a little bit like the cape in Super Mario World, in that you gain speed by sort of diving. Come on. And you have to get a nice big run up before you actually leap into the air and take off in the first place, but I find it a little bit easier to handle than the cape. Certainly in terms of being able to fly for long distances without falling into a chasm. Because it is quite generous with how much altitude you can gain after a dive. So you can just run like this, dive, and you see you can easily reach that platform there, and then dive and pop back up again. You're actually very mobile on this level. Another one up. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Now we need the diamonds on this level. And get some of this food so we don't get yelled at again. Don't think there's any enemies on this level. I think it's just all about negotiating the environment, exploring so you can find lots of food items to get yourself some points. Oops. And not falling down a pit like that. I gotta do all that again now. Actually, no, I don't, because it remembers the items that you've collected, doesn't it? That's good. Yeah, so there's a lot of really pleasant design features about this game that I really like. And as I say, with Titus not having the best reputation for making particularly good games, and them being a big part of why a lot of people look on the Interplay collections on the Evercade as some of their least favourite cartridges. Need one more diamond. Oh no! There's the last diamond, though. Yeah, the whole thing with Titus and Interplay was that at one point Titus owned Interplay, but then Titus went bust, and so Interplay then took on all of Titus's stuff. And then I'm not 100% sure what happened to Interplay, because they don't seem to be around much these days. Unless they're just sort of quietly doing their thing without really telling anyone. But yeah, basically... Oh, bollocks. But yeah, basically what happened is all of Titus's properties ended up in the hands of Interplay. Alright, okay. A game over there, that's as good a point as any to finish, I think. That's giving you an idea of how this game works and how the sort of varied level objectives provide you with lots of different things to do, and so on. I've no idea why it gives you 16 credits. That seems like a really strange and arbitrary number of credits to give... excuse me. Give you a really strange and arbitrary number of credits for it to give you, but it is what it is, I guess. 16 credits. Yeah, this is a good game that's worth exploring. Certainly more so than Incantation, which Incantation looks a little bit nicer than this, but this is actually a good game rather than something that just looks nice and doesn't really play that well. So yeah, well worth checking out if you've got the Interplay Collection 2 cartridge for the Evercade. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.